Greetings. Welcome back to Deep Truth JA. Let's get right into it. Now, there's a race going on for the position of US ambassador to Jamaica. And it's interesting when we're listening, when we listen to like the debates when Trump and Kamala, when Biden, anybody, and we listen to the opinions and what they have planned, but we don't listen to things like these people who are going to be on the ground in Jamaica and having more effect. Well, I'm not going to say more effect than the president, but a more direct effect. They would be probably the ones advising the president. Maybe not in this case with this president, but in the general sense of the position. You get me? But yeah, we want to listen to her and her plans as it relates to the drug trade and the scammers in Jamaica.
Working with the Jamaican government to combat lottery scams that target vulnerable American victims to the tune of $300 million annually. Big money popping in the room we go. Big money popping, ain't no stopping. Jamaica has struggled for years to prosecute these networks domestically. If confirmed, what practical resources or support would you pursue to encourage more effective cooperation between our law enforcement agencies to stop these scams?
Thank you for asking that question, Senator. I think people think, how could you get scammed out of your life savings? But there are some bad actors in Jamaica who have really honed the skill of bilking people out of their money through these lottery scams and other financial scams. And so we will work very closely with Jamaican law enforcement officials. We already have a great relationship. We'll work with our counterparts at the State Department, and we will work with local law enforcement here in the United States to make sure that we're doing everything we can to alert people to this problem, because I think a lot of people unsuspectingly don't even realize that they're obviously being caught up in a scam, and then prosecute people to the fullest extent of the law. And I will put pressure on the Jamaican government, if I'm confirmed, to really prosecute and take seriously these types of crimes.
Ms. Lake, I want to come back to you on a related topic here, and that has to do, beyond your normal role as ambassador, you're going to be responsible for an interagency effort to deal with U.S.-Jamaica counter-narcotics efforts. And that's going to require leading a team that has personnel in the State Department side and in law enforcement. Can you just illuminate us in terms of how you plan to approach that challenge?
Thank you so much for the question, and I want to commend the people who are on the ground in Jamaica. From what I understand, they're doing incredible work working with the Jamaican authorities. We're taking the incredible knowledge we have in law enforcement here in America. We have also in investigations, and we're helping to train additional forces in Jamaica. And we'll be working with the Department of War. I understand that they are very much hot on bringing down these narco-terrorists. Most of the drugs, from what I understand, are coming from Colombia, about 40% of the drugs coming from Colombia, and they stop at Jamaica, and then they go out to other areas. Some of them are making their way into the United States. One death from fentanyl or overdose from drugs, in my opinion, is one death too many. And I'm glad we have a president who's taking this issue seriously. Fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction, and I think that the people of Jamaica deserve the safety that their government is now working to help provide. They've brought down the murder rates by 43%, from what I understand, in the country. They're making huge progress in making Jamaica a safer country, and I think the people of Jamaica deserve that, and the people of America deserve that as well.
So there you have it, folks. I think it's safe to say that them don't really have a plan. Well, she doesn't really have a plan. What I'm hearing, and you can correct me in the comment section, anybody here where I going wrong, because I'm human. I'm not perfect. But in what I am hearing is when them ask her about the scamming, she refer back to the locals on the ground and the good work they're doing. And then she give a little basic understanding of the lottery scam scheme. She gave a basic understanding of it. Is something that anybody listen to a lot of dancehall, trapal, or involved in the Jamaican culture, even if you live overseas, could I give you that answer? So it don't really seem like she know that much. But, she recant what she know as knowledge. As you know, US politics can be shallow sometimes. And then them go on for ask her about the drug trade, and the same thing, She big up the locals on the ground. She tell you the route where, Colombia to Jamaica. Things that people know from, the 70s till now, But you don't really hear nothing dynamic. So it's fair to say that the drug dealer them and the chopper them are alright, This is good news for them. Now, for anybody who want any improvement in these things, them have to understand so it's cultural, Like the video me make about Yaksta recently. I don't even think it dropped yet. This might drop before. But yeah, one line say bang the line with bravery, Where I get so much feature these days. That in itself will create more choppers than Mocha can clean up in probably a year time. And that will be created probably in a month or two. And I know one man I do it. So the demons them go out with the message. And nobody get me wrong, I know enough people are going to burn me out because I support the chopping and them thing there. At the end of the day, every man have their own opinion. Me believe so a lot of folly come through the music, and it come through so much that we can't even see when we are sing. We're going to bust a gun and head chop off and a roll like a dice, and we don't see the evil in them thing there anymore. So we get, what I say now, desensitized. So I think a lot of we get desensitized with the chopping thing. Yeah, man. But me not really, it's the next video for that, but my opinion on the chopping thing is, all I'm gonna tell you is repatriation. You're not sure who you're chopping. Most of who you're chopping are not descendants. Nobody no like hear this, but are not descendants of slave owners. Can remember say America don't just bring in the Europeans, and they have been having immigration happening from way back then till now, till all many are way up there. We could have chop ourselves. I just say we're gonna catch each other accent and say, brother, what you do? But at the end of the day, we are chop left, right, and center. Nobody's chopping and saying, hello, you're white. You did have slave, your parents were slave owners, or your foreparents, or you were innocent. Were you fighting for our rights, or were you not? Me now say we don't deserve repatriation because we definitely do, but this ain't it. But my point on the chopping thing is a cultural thing right now. We're not going to fight it with the law, especially when the risk seems more than, the reward seems more than the risk. Yeah, man, a person can go for the reward. And even if they have to suffer the consequences, as long as they set up themselves good, they're willing to take the risk, man. Because poor life not easy. Trust me. But people, tell me what you think. I don't think this report really, come off as. And I think the other candidates have similar takes. And for years we have been having this. I think these people are just looking for them position with them international job where pay them whole heap of money. And them just come cruise control until them get them chance to go back up wealthier than they left. But tell me what you think. I might be simplifying it. If you reach this far, give me a like, a subscribe. Please comment. If you feel so kind, you can hype up the video. Yeah, man. Bless up people. And somewhere above, beside, somewhere on the screen, I go pop up a video.